Hello and welcome to Daddy, Dad and Me. For those who are new to the channel, we are adoptive parents to Little Man, our 3-year-old son who has been with us since the summer of this year, 2020. Rather an epic year, as I'm sure you'll agree. For those who have subscribed and are returning to the channel, thank you so much for coming back. So yes, we are parents to Little Man, have been for about 5-6 months now, and it's been a bit of a journey, as you'll see from our blogs and all our social channels. We've kind of documented our journey since the very beginning, back in 2018 when we started our adoption journey. And a lot of it we do is just to normalise it, just showing a same-sex family, and we're no different to any other family. We know all families are different, and again, what is normal nowadays. And we just love to do it, and we hope Little Man one day looks back on his journey and where we've been and where we've come from, in order to see what we did and how we did it, and how our journey started with him. So as you'll see from the title below, we wanted to discuss and talk about bump intos. They're becoming more and more common within local authorities and agencies, and we just wanted to explore that with you, because we didn't really hear the term or didn't really have much information around it when we went through that. So come on through, grab a cuppa, and yeah, we'll just talk about all things bump intos. So in a nutshell, a bump into is a bump, or can be a bump into. It's becoming more and more common, as I said in the intro to the video, in that local authorities, I'd probably say a few years ago, only a kind of a handful were doing bump intos, and what they are, and it's very much driven by the child, but they kind of can be very different scenarios for them. So you can have a bump into where you are literally in an open public place, and you will just go along as one of the friends of the foster carers, and it may be that you have no interaction with the child whatsoever, but it's just to see how they react to you react to them. So I would kind of call that close contact, but you're not actually, sometimes you are told not to discuss or talk to the child. Just let them drive everything. So if they want to play with you, play, but you're not to kind of make the first move. Sometimes we have heard of bump intos where you don't actually even meet the child whatsoever. It could be in a public playground, it could be at a school, depending on the child's age, and you are to observe them from a distance. So again, very, very different. Our experience of bump intos were that we went to a soft play the very first time we met them. So we met him, and he didn't know who we were. We just were introduced as the foster carers' friends, and that's where it all kind of led from. And he wanted to engage with us, so we engaged with him, we played, and we eventually ended up going into the soft play with him, just us. But obviously we had our social worker with us as well as the foster carer. So again, very much driven by him. Nothing was forced, and we just went at his pace and what he felt comfortable with for the first time that we met him. Some bump intos won't be like that, and as I said, it could be that you will just observe them, and it's really there that you can end up building that over a period of time, and that's what happened to us. So the first bump into at the soft play, we then had, up until matching panel, we probably had about 3 or 4 further bump intos. Between the first and second was quite a period of time, and we were quite concerned that he would react differently to us, and he instantly remembered who we were within minutes, and we were just able to build upon that each and every time that we saw him. So for us, we found it very helpful, and I would recommend for any prospective adopters going through the matching process and all of that to pursue it, because we didn't. I'm very glad, obviously, that we had the option to do it, but we're aware that some local authorities will not allow that, and I personally find it a little bit strange and odd that you in essence could end up adopting a child and be matched to a child that you may never have physically met, and vice versa. So always have that open discussion with the social workers and professionals involved to see if a bump into is an option for you. As I said, it worked out really well for us, and it stood very good ground, so much so that Little Man now refers to a photo that was taken at the bump into, and he still he's very much aware of that day, and he talks about it very positively. So yeah, it was only a positive in my eyes. And as I said, it's kind of, you have to go at the child's pace. So you can't force anything. We've spoken to other adopters from our Instagram accounts and on our Facebook pages where they have had to watch at a distance and again just pretend to be foster carers' friends, and it's really just to see how that bump into goes. And it's just, or sometimes they can be called chemistry meetings, and again kind of does exactly what it says on the tin, in that it's just to see kind of how you feel, if you feel it's right, if it feels natural. And for them, so Little Man with us, he actually cried the first time, and it was obviously quite overwhelming for him, but that was also a positive reaction, that he had that reaction to us. He didn't naturally come to us straight away, almost that stranger danger that is taught to them. So yeah, I can only talk about it positively, and there are various different bump intos or chemistry meetings. So I would definitely encourage you to speak with your social worker about it, see what the bump into process may look like if the local authority does bump intos, and how many there will be up until matching. If there isn't, I wouldn't say let it put you off a potential link or a match. But just, yeah, you're going to see and hear a lot about them without actually meeting them. And again, that may work for you and the child, but I do know it's becoming more commonplace for you to have a bump into. But say a lot of people hear the terminology and say, when we did, we were like, what's a bump into? So I hope this video, I know it's only short, but goes some way to explaining what a bump into a chemistry meeting is. I hope you've all found that helpful. If you have any questions around it, obviously please do feel to contact us via daddydadandme@gmail.com or on any of the social media channels as Daddy, Dad and Me. Hope you are well. We're going to have one final video before 2020 is out and we can kiss goodbye to the year. Rather an epic year in both ways. Obviously we grew as a family, but also it was the year that the pandemic hit. So let's hope 2021 is a little bit different perhaps. And yeah, our last video will be just a roundup really of 2020 and one of the other topics that we've got coming up. So yeah, please do reach out, like and subscribe the channel. It would be great to kind of get more awareness of adoption. The more and more we talk to people, and it's just talking about it openly. It's not that kind of hidden adoption like it used to be back in many decades ago. It's very much celebrated, and that's why we advocate. Obviously, we're advocates for adoption and talk about it openly, and we'll do with Little Man as he grows. So if we don't see you before, have a lovely Christmas and a fantastic New Year, and we'll speak to you then. Bye.